we're in this crazy pandemic, but has things kind of slowed down for you? Seems like it's kind of done the opposite, and you
Yeah.
guys are kind of full throttle. So what's going on?
Well, I mean, we recorded our album in the last 2 years, and we're actually preparing everything for the release, which is going to take place in June. So, yeah, I mean, since we're not a touring band at this point, uh, nothing really changed for this project. Um, Bernd was a touring musician before the pandemic, of course, and he focused on his YouTube channel and everything, which done great. So for him, it was a very productive time, I guess. And well, we recorded 2 music videos last year, so everything that was possible doing digitally, we we did it. But I mean, yeah, starting to get boring after 1 year. So yeah.
Could you see between the two of you guys maybe doing something like they got all those theatrical type live shows like the Australian Pink Floyd and stuff
Yeah.
like that? I mean, what you guys are doing seems like it would fit that envelope perfectly.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Well, I mean, yeah, we're thinking about doing a full digital show, which would be, as you said, an amazing concept for our project, since everything is focused on big stages and huge designs and cinematic looks. This would be ideal since we are not at the size at this point for doing a headline show, which would need like big arenas for a set like this, but we're not there, obviously. So, I mean, the situation would be ideal. So, we actually thinking about doing something like that in the next maybe year or something like that.
Mentioning that, I mean, like I said, it's such an infectious thing, these live tours. But what you guys are doing is really both visual stunning and musically stunning. How did the two of
Thank
you
you.
kind of come together before, obviously, the latest thing with Through the Night with the Hoff?
Yeah. Bernd is, I mean, still is, but also was a session guitar player for a huge Austrian band and still is, but obviously also there are no tours in Austria at the moment. And I, with my company, was doing the light design and the special effects, which is what I'm doing for my main job for this band. So that's where the two of us met, and yeah, we started to do music in 2017, and
Yeah,
yeah,
this
that was it.
describes actually this describes the roles in the band perfectly well because all the stuff that you see, the big stage productions and the light and all the crazy stuff, that's Martin's doing, while I like to focus on the musical aspect of everything. So when you only have two guys in a band or in a project, there are not that many arguments. We do argue a little bit over everything, but it's not like five guys. Everybody wrote 15 songs and everybody's the songwriter and everybody's the graphic designer. Everybody has the say in the music videos and in the live shows and all of that stuff. So I think this is the coolest part of just doing this kind of two-man project thing.
So who's the one that kind of starts the ship, so to speak? I mean, does it you got that guitar riff and then the visuals come on, or is it the visuals and then the music comes around, or how do you guys kind of coexist? I know it's just the two of you, but how do you coexist with that?
I think
Well, I mean, first is the music, so that would be
yeah,
Bernd's
that's
Bernd's
what I
part.
wanted to say. We all the songs for the current album we actually wrote together. So we just sat down with Ableton, this pretty cool software, in case you know it. And Martin does a lot of really interesting synths and electronic music elements, and then I would, just try to play some guitar music over that. So that's the really interesting part right at the beginning. It's not like five guys in a rehearsal space. There's a drummer, there's a bass player, there's keyboard player, and so on. It's just us two. But I'd say the music always comes first. We never really had an idea of this is the perfect music video. Now we have to write a song for it. It usually starts with the music and then the visuals and then the music video and all of that stuff. And I think when you make music, music kind of should be the first thing. that you think about, at least in my opinion.
So what was kind of like I guess the transition, like seeing the Hoff step into metal with you guys for Through the Night? Because I mean, this was his first foray like into metal, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I mean, that was our main goal to make him do metal, because for some reason he has a huge fan base in the metal world, which ironically was one of his biggest shows in Vienna a couple of years ago. We have a huge festival in Austria. It's a rock metal festival, and the promoters, they're funny guys, so they always think about like out of the box, not headliner, who plays after the headliner, like the closing act. And one year they invited David Hasselhoff, and the main band was Iron Maiden. And he was like, nobody's gonna look at my show, like, what am I doing here? And then it was packed, like everybody went to see David Hasselhoff.
Wow.
Just, I mean, of course, some part for comedy. On the other hand, just because he's an icon, just he's a legend. And I was doing his latest shows, like the tour production and the light design. And on a lot of shows, you see a lot of metalheads wearing, for example, the Kung Fury jackets, which is a great song, and a lot of metalheads love this song. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, he became an icon in the metal world for no reason, I guess. And so we thought, hey, he has to do at least one metal song in his career. And I mean, since I'm very close with him, I'm doing his designs, we work on his shows, so I just asked him like, hey, would you do a song with us? And he was like, sure. And then it was like, okay, you said yes. So I was really on that for, I think, 1.5 years. And finally he was like, okay, I'm coming to Vienna. So we had to nail this in 2 days. One day was the audio recording, second day was the video shoot. And it was crazy, but it worked out at the end.
And of course, laying down the guitar riffs for sure, right, Bernd?
Yeah, Bernd wrote the song, so he can tell you a lot about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty challenging song to write when you think you kind of have to combine. I didn't want to write the CueStack song and then just invite David to sing on the song, because that doesn't really make sense. It should be something that he's comfortable with, that maybe also his fans like, that are not into death metal or industrial metal or anything like that. So it was kind of all about making a satisfying fusion of what his music kind of sounds like, what our music sounds like, and making it work also with the lyrics. That was the most important topic for him as a singer. He wanted to identify with the lyrics, so he had to write a couple of different sets of lyrics until there was something he could kind of identify with, a strong message for the song. And I think it worked out pretty well, and I was really surprised by the reception of the song, also from some acclaimed metal magazines. We didn't know until the end if people were going to take this seriously or just kind of as a joke and yeah, fun idea. But I think it went pretty well.
So was this was this something kind of like in the works for a while, or did it just kind of sporadically came together?
Well, we actually worked on this for over 2 years, and since it was very hard to plan this video shoot, for example, with David, we didn't have like a storyboard and anything, like, because we didn't even know if he shows up. We had to cancel 2 video shoots because it didn't happen at the very last minute. So the last video shoot, actually, that one that did happen, that was my last try. It was like I tried the last time, and if it doesn't work out, I'm done with it. And so he finally arrived. So we just collected everything we could do. We had like 10 different sets. We had a tough schedule to do all that. And we did everything else in post-production. So after the recordings were done, we were working for 1.5 years on editing all this, with a lot of animating and designing. And
wow.
And the funnest part for me was like when you work on something like that for such a long time, you I don't want to say you're over it, but you lose any connection. Like we were like, I don't know if anybody cares at this point. And then we sent out the press release, and suddenly this thing went
Brought
viral,
back
and
the
like
energy.
interviews, yeah, and a lot of magazines, a lot of the comments and the comment section on the video, like amazing. Everybody loves it, and the people are asking for a full album, and they're like, oh my god, I didn't know David is such a good singer, and this is perfect. So we were surprised, like, oh my god, people love it, because we were working on it for such a long time. We had no idea anymore if anybody is interested in this.
So are we at the like last stages of it? I mean, it's ready, released, because I know you guys had the Kickstarter thing that you guys were going along with it, weren't you?
Yes, I mean, it was the idea partly because of Kang Fury. That was a really, really awesome project that got many people excited, and they made it possible to do this. So we thought maybe it's a good idea to ask beforehand if people actually want to see this. And because it just takes a lot of work in post-production, and it's easier because of many logistical reasons to do a campaign like this. And we just started it, and once again, I think we reached the goal in under 24 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
The campaign. And so the Kickstarter thing basically was just for us also the next step to figure out if this is interesting, if we should do the box set, if we should do maybe some cool merch with David with the devil horns, if that's interesting for people, because you can just put it on the internet and see, do people care about this project, or is it just for us to do this thing? So that's what the Kickstarter campaign was all about. And it really put into perspective.
So are you guys going to have future collaborations with them, you think?
I want to say I hope not, but that's mean, because he's a great guy and he's a friend. So if he would like to do something like that, you can't say no, I guess. But I mean, for us, it was so much work. It was a really hard time to get this all done. So I mean, we're really glad it worked out so good. And I think for us, it probably should be a one-time thing and just stand on its own. And so there's no plans at this point to do anything, any other project, but you never know.
So he hasn't given you guys advice and said, you know what, we might be doing another Baywatch. I want to bring you guys on board.
No, not yet. No, I mean I keep sending him like we're in touch, is one not every day, but like we text here and there, and so I'm sending him like, hey, look, the video got already almost 3 million views. So he's like, oh, I didn't see this coming at all. Like I did, because he was afraid that fans will not like it because it's so different to everything else he did before. So he was skeptical, but then he also saw how great it worked out. So at the end, he was happy that he did it, because of course he wasn't sure about this in the beginning, but yeah, he liked it.
So we might be seeing CueStack on tour with the Hoff down the road, right?
Well, we gotta have to start being allowed to tour first. So
well, that's true. Yeah.
I'm gonna see where this is going.
So what else down the road is for you guys? Do you have any other collaborative efforts, or this is really it's just back to you two in the threshold, or?
Yeah, I think the most important thing right now is getting the album out and the upcoming music videos and singles, because we don't want to forever be the band that always has kind of a famous guest singer with every single release. We also write good songs on our own, I think, and we really enjoy just creating something very different. That's also one of the main reasons for the Hasselhoff thing, not just because it's fun and because it's great promo or anything like that. It's just something out of the box and completely different to do that. And I think the music that we currently work on and that we will release this summer, is also kind of a breath of fresh air, at least for me, to hear guitar music and metal with all these kinds of electronic elements and vocal augmentation and all of that stuff. It's going to be really interesting. So that's the big focus, but we already also talked about different ideas of what we could do next. Maybe a metal song with, I would like to do a metal song with Nicolas Cage, for example. Or I would like Quentin Tarantino to direct a music video. But I don't know if that's maybe in the next 20 years.
Hey, who knows? Maybe they'll hear this and you're going to be getting a call soon.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to do that.
We got the Pulp Fiction Part 2 or something coming out.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be really amazing.
That's true.
Awesome. Well, hey, if there's anything else you'd like to mention to people out there, obviously your website and whatnot, where they can find out more information about you guys and what's down the road.
Well, the most important thing is the album, which is coming in June, and there will be 2 singles in the next 2 months with music videos, which were also a lot of work and which we love a lot. So, yeah, I mean, that's the most important part for us at the point, to promote the album and make sure people are aware of this. And yeah,
I really appreciate your time, guys, and looking to see the finished product.
thank you so much. Thank you, Scott.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.